running into the same guy for years. Are we connected somehow? Posted by Werewolfile. I live in Omaha, Nebraska. It's not a massive city, but our metropolitan area is home to about 1 million people, so it's not a small city either. For something like 5 to 6 years, I'd run into the same guy in the most random of places. He was a very plain, normal-looking guy. Usually wore a hat, t-shirt, brown hair, usually had on a coat. Maybe 6 feet tall. White. But yeah, a very plain-looking white dude. With no real features that would scream, "Oh, it's the guy with the purple afro," or whatever. We ran into each other several times a year, maybe at least every few months. Anyway, every time we would pass each other at a store, park, concert, whatever, we'd just do the thing all Omaha people do when they make eye contact. Kinda nod at each other politely and keep moving. After literally years of these chance run-ins, I could tell that he had become aware of it too. We'd start giving each other a kind of knowing look, like, "This is weird, you're that dude I always see." We never spoke, just kinda smirked at each other knowingly. I'm not really an introverted guy in particular, but for some reason I never had the balls to just say something to the guy. I mean, despite my opinion and hunch that he was thinking the same thing as me, I always wondered what the fuck I would say to him, so I just never said anything. Things got really weird when we'd run into each other in different cities than Omaha. 2 times, in fact. Kansas City and LA. And both times we just passed each other and looked equally perplexed as usual. The last time I saw him was at a Walmart near the self-checkout. I was walking out of the store past that little warmer machine where you can buy the pre-cooked rotisserie chicken, and he was just entering the store. We passed each other, smirked, nodded, and kept going. I almost came close to muttering a "hey," but for some reason, didn't. After that, I promised myself I'd approach him and chat the next time. Since then, I haven't seen him again, and that was about 3 to 4 years ago. I can go more into detail, but wanted your opinion on the phenomenon. I'm sure someone has a phrase coined for it. Thanks, Brian. Did I accidentally swap universes for a sec? Posted by Hollywood. So this happened tonight. I was hanging out with someone, taking a sip of water, then put the glass down, and I got some crazy heavy deja vu. I know most users here do not classify deja vu as a glitch, and I didn't much either, but it got weirder. I told her that I swear I saw this before. Her phone to the left on the table, my phone on the sofa, the water, etc. She says, "Maybe you swapped to a parallel universe." I laughed it off. Then she's looking at one of my Christmas decorations I love. I picked it up and showed her it plays music. Only this time, it starts playing a song I've never heard this thing play before. I'm like, what the fuck? I turn it off and back on again, and it's back to the one song I've heard it start since I got this decoration 3 or 4 years ago. It only ever plays one song. Now, I'm really thinking I swapped parallel universes for a minute, where the Christmas decoration plays a different song instead of "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." I played the toy for 5 minutes after that, and I never heard the other song again. That's my story. I don't know if we classify that as a glitch or Mandela effect, in which case I can post there instead if I was incorrect here. Keyboard speech app picks up dialogue from future. Posted by Snoo81657. Long time lurker here, but this is my first post. I was just using my cell phone keyboard's voice-to-text function, and while the microphone was active, I walked past my TV, which was playing a documentary. I looked down at my cell phone and the words, "This is the first time," are typed out in the app. Just a moment later, these exact words were uttered by a person being interviewed for the documentary. Baffling. It is as though my phone somehow picked up on a sound just a second or two early. It typed out a sound 2 seconds before that sound actually occurred. How do I interpret this? It is one of those instances of something completely mundane yet totally unexplainable. I immediately thought of this Reddit page. What the heck just happened? Update. For further details, I rewinded just so that I could confirm that the character in the documentary did not say that phrase twice and I only heard the second of the two. I am also as certain as I can be of that I myself hadn't just said those words. I'm stumped on this one. As mundane as it is, this is kind of freaking me out. My grandma's house, posted by You Gotta Be Kidding Me. I just found this subreddit, and reading some of these made me realize that I actually have a story. I think it counts as a glitch. If I'm wrong, my apologies. I always thought of it more like a ghost encounter, but I resist that idea because I need to see some more credible evidence before I just decide something is real, etc. Anyways, my grandma lives in this huge house. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, hundreds of years old. My granddad's family built it, which is out in the middle of the mountains and the boonies. An hour from any real town. It's beautiful, but I have felt creeped out being alone in it my entire life, including as an adult. And the upstairs is by far the creepiest. I always feel like I'm going to spin around and see someone behind me. This was about 9-ish years ago because I was 25 and a new mom. So we had made the trip out to the home place so my grandma could spend some quality time with my baby. Bedtime comes, and I go to my usual guest room upstairs because it has a California king, which left enough room for me, safe bed sharing, and all of my stuff. At the bottom of the bed, I have my overnight bag and a diaper bag in the bottom left-hand corner and more in the center. I have one of those small plastic wrap bags of diapers and some wipes. The bag of diapers has a hole in it because I had just changed her before bed. The bed is so huge and I'm about 5'3", so my feet don't even come close to any of it. Anyways, the blankets and sheets on this bed are tucked in military tight, and after trying to pull the bottom loose for a minute, I just gave up. So there's no way they could have pulled out on their own as I got under the covers. So my daughter is asleep beside me. I've just turned out the lights and I'm looking at my phone a bit because I still feel a little jumpy and creeped out, as usual. It's in the middle of nowhere, so it's pitch black, other than my phone, because there aren't any street lights or other houses or even more than one car every few hours. I thought I heard something, but I wasn't sure. So I was laying there, phone down, extremely still, trying to hear it again, when it happened. I hear the crinkle of the bag of diapers, just barely, and then a super loud thwack, followed by quiet ruffling sounds. I immediately reach out and pull my daughter to my side, and I just freeze and strain for any sound at all for honestly like 10 minutes or longer. I'm totally petrified, and it's so dark. I keep blinking to see if my eyes are still open. Finally, after a long time, I hype myself up to go for the light switch, which involves stepping out of the bed. I turn on the lights, and everything seems normal. So I walk around the bed and there are diapers and wipes everywhere. The bag of diapers is completely empty and in the far corner. Every diaper is spread out like they exploded out of the bag. Totally fanned out. Not evenly like they were placed, just like they went flying with some serious force. And the wipes are the same way. It was a small plastic wrap container, not the hard plastic box, which means you have to tediously remove each wipe as if from a tissue box. But here, they are all over. A few clumped together, but most are separated. I am just completely flabbergasted. I check the blankets, but they're in just as tight as ever. The diaper bag and overnight bag are still perfectly in place and untouched. There's no way that I kicked my feet or moved them by bouncing or rolling over because I was being still not to wake my daughter. And in the morning, I tried to kick the diapers off by kicking and moving and rolling around, and nothing. And even if I somehow made them fall or even bounce up, Nothing explains how every diaper looks like it was machine gunned out of a t-shirt cannon, much less whatever exploded all of the wipes out. I laid in bed with the light on until daylight because I couldn't relax enough to sleep. I have told all my friends and family, and to this day, I cannot figure out how it happened like this.